what makes skin different after menopause? During menopause, estrogen levels drop and there's a profound effect on the skin. Fine lines and wrinkles, thinning of the skin, dehydration of the skin, and just an all-around dullness and loss of vitality. That supple, luminous glow of young skin begins to diminish. This isn't just the normal biological aging that you've been experiencing up until menopause. This is an acceleration of the aging process after menopause. And that's why post-menopausal skin needs much more than just moisturizers. It needs a targeted approach that focuses on regeneration and protection. Let's talk about how that can be achieved. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Amir Karam. I'm a board-certified facial plastic surgeon and the founder and creator of Karam MD Skin. I specialize in facial rejuvenation, helping people look as young as they feel for the last 20 years. And today we are going to talk about how to address the changes that you're seeing in your skin after menopause. This is a very important topic and one that you cannot afford to get wrong, because this is the time that the skin is really aging on you. You have a lot of power to control this narrative and get in front of this, and it's literally never too late to make changes in your skin and get that youthful glow, beautiful supple skin back. And I'm gonna teach you how. All right, so let's get clear on what actually works after menopause. So my hero actives, the ones that are, I consider blue collar, foundational, been around for decades, proven to change skin, are the following list. Top of that list is retinol. Retinol, a vitamin A derivative, what it does is it stimulates collagen at the cellular level. So think of it as like an on switch, and many of these have that same impact. But it also increases cell turnover, it also diminishes pigmentation production, and it has an overall rejuvenating and regenerative effect on skin. And by stimulating the collagen production, you're gonna see skin that is more firm, thicker, and all around more youthful looking. So I consider retinol an absolute must-have in any type of skin rejuvenation program or routine. Absolute must-have. Next up is vitamin C. Vitamin C is another one of those multitasking actives. It stimulates collagen, it protects against environmental damage, UV, all sorts of antioxidant functions, and it ultimately brightens the skin, and it even hydrates the skin. Niacinamide is the next active that is absolutely essential in a skincare routine. Why? Because it strengthens and improves the skin barrier. It also stimulates some collagen, it helps with pigmentation, but it also does wonderful things to decreasing inflammation and redness in the skin. When you think about all these actives that we just mentioned right now, the top three, vitamin A derivative, vitamin B derivative, and a vitamin C, are all having multitasking effects on skin. So synergy is a really important part of this. The next active that I love is peptides. Now there's a number of different types of peptides, all of them having different types of functions, but specifically the ones that I like in an anti-aging routine are the ones that stimulate collagen and firm skin. So these are small molecules that have direct impact on the cellular function of the skin, ultimately giving the skin its rejuvenative effect. Hyaluronic acid, another one of those key ingredients in a skincare routine. Why? Because as we age, we lose the production of hyaluronic acid, the skin becomes drier, it becomes thinner, and by adding hyaluronic acid back to the skin, it penetrates through the skin and functions like a sponge and absorbs water and causes the skin to plump. Thickness and suppleness of the skin are all enhanced with hyaluronic acid. Next is ceramides. Ceramides and lipids are an essential part of the skin barrier. Remember, the skin barrier's function is to prevent things that are unwanted from getting into your skin, and also allowing the skin to egress things that it doesn't want, toxins, moisture when it gets hot, like in sweating, and etc. So the skin barrier is very important and is made up mostly of lipids and ceramides. So adding ceramides to the mix is an important part of this overall because it reinforces the skin barrier and it helps moisture be retained. So another one of those actives that helps plump the skin and make the skin look better. Now the final actives that I love, and this is just, it's a fun category, and these are botanical lighteners. These are things that are derived from plants, things like daisy flower and licorice root extract, etc., that work directly at the cellular level to decrease the production of pigment. Now, pigment is important because sunspots and hyperpigmentation makes the skin look aged. And when you think about young skin, what do you see? You see a clear, even tone. And when you think about older skin that has been around for long, the wear and tear and the discoloration makes it look hyperpigmented and older looking, in addition to all those structural changes that we talked about in thinning and lines and wrinkles and dullness, etc. So one of the most key points to keep in mind here is that hyaluronic acid works immediately. You put it on, you're gonna see some impact and hydration, and the skin looks better. Every other one, all the big actives, retinol, vitamin C, niacinamide, peptides, botanical lighters, these are working slowly at the cellular level to physically change the way the cells express, upregulating collagen, deregulating pigmentation, and the changes that come from this don't happen overnight. They happen weeks, months, and even years later. They're just an additive effect. So this is a very, very important thing to keep in mind, that aging is going in this direction. These actives are resisting those changes and starting to make the skin turn around structurally, but it's doing it on a daily basis. Now, I want that concept to stay in your mind as we talk about the next components and ultimately what the final solution would be to all this. One other category that I think is very, very important for mature skin, postmenopausal skin, is exfoliation, because the top layer of the skin starts to get thicker. There's a keratin layer that's above the epidermis or part of the epidermis, and what happens is it begins layering dead layers of skin cells and makes the skin look dull and also rough to touch. So the exfoliation is the act of removing all of that. Exfoliation, I did an entire video on it, can be in the way of enzymatic, which is one of the approaches that we take with the Karam MD line. You can also use chemical peels. You can also use mechanical. But for each skin type, there is an optimal approach for exfoliation. Enzymatic is the only one that can be used for all skin types. And if you're curious about that, check out Polish on KaramMDSkin.com and learn more about that. But exfoliation is an important part of mature skin, more important than when you're younger and your body is naturally turning over and exfoliating on its own. Notice I did not mention a single trending concept, mucin of, snail, whatever, some type of new oil, some new molecule that was recently discovered, I mean, the list goes on and on. I'm sure you have been inundated with all of the different types of marketing concepts that have come out, talking about the next miracle cream, the next miracle ingredient, the next miracle, protein, blah, blah, blah. It drives me absolutely crazy, because the fact is what works has already been established to work, and what works really, really well. There is really no need to try to reinvent the wheel when it comes to this. In my opinion, we're at a level of options available to us that really give us true impact and power if they're used right, and I'm going to talk about how they're used right. So there's no need to wait and look for something better to come along. The things that I just mentioned, tried and true, they are going to make your skin look better, period. Now, if you're wondering about lasers, very beautiful technology, been around for a long time. We use them in our practice. I've been using it for over 20 years. I did an entire video on skincare versus laser, so you might want to check that out after this. But the concept is this. Fundamentally, laser is a boost. It's something that makes the skin look better in a short period of time. What it doesn't do is it doesn't keep your skin moving in the right direction. And as I mentioned, your skin is actively aging every single day, whether you like it or not, it's aging. So even if you do a laser and you kind of push it back a little bit, the second the laser heals, your skin is continuously starting to age. So the impact of a laser is not going to be persistent. You're not going to get that change lasting a long time. So if many of you who've had lasers can recognize, and certainly in our practice we see this all the time, is you do a laser, you do a full series of an IPL, BBL, you do a contour laser, no matter what you do, 6 months later, a year later, your skin's back to where it was, maybe even sooner. And it makes perfect sense, is because you're not doing anything to change the genetic expression of the aging skin. Remember, collagen, estrogen, these are the things that are causing the skin to age. So what you're doing on a daily basis is more important than what you do here and there. So think of lasers like a boot camp. You go, let's say you're on an exercise regimen, you go off and do a boot camp, you get in some decent shape, and then you leave the boot camp, and what do? Within a few weeks, you get back to the baseline shape that you were in before the boot camp. Now, the difference is if you're working out daily diet and exercise, think of it this way. With skincare, you are changing your skin on a daily basis, moving in the right direction. You can supplement with lasers, but you can't replace the skincare aspect of it. Please keep that in mind, make a note of that, share that. And by the way, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We're really trying to boost up the subscriber level so we can invite different people onto the channel and bring in more dynamic content, etc., that you guys might like. Having a strong subscriber base is definitely something that'll help us. And we know the majority of you watch these videos without subscribing, so take a second and subscribe. All right, let's talk about timing. When should you get started? I hear from a lot of people, oh, it's too late. I haven't done anything. I'm 50 something, 60 something, even 70 something, and I haven't done anything for my skin. It's too late for me, etc. The fact of the matter, it's literally never too late. Your skin can completely change. We have had people who started skin rejuvenation programs in their 70s and even 80s, believe it or not, and they notice dramatic changes in their skin. So whatever age you are at, especially if you're in the 50s and you're just starting to notice these things happening, you've really neglected your skin, do not let that prohibit you from getting started, because you can make a serious impact. And here's the issue, why you should start today: because every day that is going by, your skin is getting older. Your skin is getting more hyperpigmented, it's getting thinner, it's getting, all the structural fundamental changes, getting more dull texture, etc. It's just happening. So the sooner you jump on this, get onto a effective routine that's going to transform your skin, the better you're going to be. Because at the end of the day, you're not watching this because you just enjoy listening to some guy talk about skincare. You're watching this because you want to find a solution and want to improve your skin so you can look as young as you feel, so you can cut through the clutter and make good decisions when it comes to how to improve your skin. And that's what I'm going to give you. But timing is important, meaning that it's never too late, but the sooner you do it, the better, because you'll enjoy the fruits of your labor. You'll enjoy the changes sooner in your life than having to wait longer, right? And getting it wrong by trying something that is promised to do something, but rarely achieves that promise, you're extending that time, you're wasting your time. So start with the stuff that you know that will work. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. Let's think about postmenopausal skin as needing 4 essential pillars to be met. Number 1 is regeneration. You need to regenerate collagen, you need to regenerate elastin, you need to do the things that are going to make the skin physically transform into a younger version of itself, right? So that's happening at the cellular level. You are trying to move in that direction. Regeneration is super important. That's where retinol, vitamin C, even niacinamide peptides help in that direction. Number 2, protection. You've heard me talk about the importance of sun. Sun is the greatest accelerator of skin aging. How does that happen? Well, because the UVA damage from sun causes the breakdown of collagen, and therefore your skin ages much more quickly. It also stimulates melanocytes to create more melanin, therefore your skin ends up looking more pigmented. So protection against the sun is important. That's where sunscreen comes into play. That's where vitamin C comes into play, even niacinamide. These are things that are helping protect the skin. Number 3, barrier support. Skin barrier needs to be not just protected, but also needs to be enhanced. That's where ceramides come into place. That's where niacinamide comes into place. That's where just all around hydration comes into place, hyaluronic acid. All these things that are improving the function of that skin barrier is absolutely essential in giving your skin the best shot at looking young. Another really important part of the barrier function, even if it wasn't just for the way it looks, it is what is protecting your skin from all the things you don't want to go into your body, viruses, bacteria, pollutants, etc. A good functioning skin barrier keeps those things out while giving your skin its functional protection and looking its best. So you're getting 2 important benefits from having a good skin barrier. I cannot emphasize the importance of that enough. Number 4, brightening. Now, brightening is an even-toned skin. Remember, young skin is supple. That goes to regeneration, and it's clear. There's very little pigmentation. Things that are going to improve the discoloration of the skin, inhibit melanocytes from producing melanin or wiping them away, are things going to be like vitamin C, botanical lighteners, even retinol has a huge impact, even niacinamide. So you're getting multiple impact from this, as well as, of course, sun protection. And you've heard me harp on this many times. SPF and sun protection is not just optional. It's essential. It's an absolute non-starter, because if you're doing all these wonderful things, you're on all these wonderful products to improve your skin, and yet you're not doing sun protection, well, you're just basically, reducing the impact you can make. You're actually, maybe going forward just a little bit as opposed to leaps and bounds. So make sure you watch my SPF video. It really is the number one mistake that people make when it comes to their skin, is not taking that aspect seriously enough. What you put on your skin is extremely important, but it's not the entire picture either, because your lifestyle plays a huge role in your skin. The skin is an organ, believe it or not. It's just like your heart, your liver, kidneys, etc. And it's a reflection of your health. The things that are going to really, really be important in terms of lifestyle changes that are going to make your skin look better is going to be things like a well-rounded diet, lots of fruits and vegetables, healthy fatty acids, plenty of protein to give you the building blocks of all the things that your skin needs. Now keep in mind, collagen is a protein. It requires vitamin C, it requires zinc, all of these things to build. So you have to be on a diet that has those things in it if you're gonna go try to stimulate collagen with all the different things that you do. Healthy diet is super important. Hydration, very important, because your body needs that hydration to impact the skin and give it that turgor and that suppleness that it needs, in addition to helping the hyaluronic acid that you put on your skin absorb and become even more plump. Sleep is a huge part of it. Even 1 or 2 nights of bad sleep, you can see it in your skin. The skin doesn't look as vibrant and healthy. Stress, a big part of all around reflection of healthiness. Skin responds to stress negatively. It just simply does. Exercise is a very important part of the overall thing, because sweating, the removal of toxins, the vasodilation brings all the nutrients to the skin. It's just an important part of the blood flow and the healthiness of skin as well. So as you can see, all these important lifestyle aspects play a big role in all around keeping your skin looking young, especially in the postmenopausal years. All right, so here's, in my opinion, the best solution I can offer you. I've been doing this for 20 years, so I have been preaching everything I'm sharing with you right now with my patients in consultation forever, right? I mean, 20 something years of discussing this. Everything that I mentioned, all the things that I want you to be on, all those different actives, generally come in individual bottles, right? So you go get a vitamin C, you go get a retinol, you go get a niacinamide, you get a hyaluronic acid serum, you get da-da-da-da. I mean, now all of a sudden you're down to 8 to 10 steps. It's complicated to manage 8 or 10 step routines. I found that to be true with my patients. Most people end up dropping a few of the things. They, something runs out, they forget to reorder it. Half the time if I'm sharing this with you, you're wondering what brands I should get. And the problem with brands are, if they're not meant to be together, sometimes the chemistry, the pHs, etc., counteract each other and decreases efficacy. What order should you put these on? These are all questions that come up when you're trying to put together a good routine. These are the same challenges that my patients had. For years, I watched this happen and finally decided I'm going to create something that is going to make it a lot easier for people and really just take all the thinking out of it, because I'll do all the thinking for you. I'll put together all the bits and pieces. All you have to do is actually do it. And what I realize is in order for people to do it, it has to be easy. It has to be simple. So that's when I developed the Karam MD trifecta. This is the story. Karam MD trifecta has everything that we just talked about, plus a number of other things, but those key actives are all in there. It's 3 steps, including a cleansing step, and then step 2 and 3, quench and illuminate. This took about 4 years to formulate, and the reason why it took so long to formulate is because getting all those actives to live happily together is not an easy task. There's no product on the planet at this moment that has all of those together, like the trifecta. And there's a reason for that, because like I said, it's hard to get them to work synergistically and not oppose each other. So twice a day, morning and night, takes a couple minutes to do. Everything comes preset for about 30 to 45 day application. You run out, a whole new set comes to you through the subscription, and that is the way you stay consistent. It's the only skincare routine that I've actually been able to do personally, because it was no way in my lifestyle and my mental abilities could handle sitting in front of a mirror and putting on 8 individual products. And most of my patients were the same way. My wife is on it, almost all of my surgical patients on it. In fact, 11,000 people are using it daily at this moment of this video. And the beauty of it is that it works. And the clinical studies, third-party studies, as well as the fact that so many people are happy with it, is a major reason why I feel so confident about it being the ultimate solution for skincare. So keep all of that in mind. Certainly your options are go out and get everything separately. Obviously I can't speak to which brands you should use, because there's a lot of choices out there. I can't speak to what's been clinically tested, etc. But I can tell you this is going to deliver. The proof is in the pudding, and I love seeing that. So postmenopausal skin, think about it as daily skincare, sun protection, lifestyle, as well as doing some in-office things. I love microneedling for collagen stimulation. Really, really important. You want to make sure you're treating your eyes and your neck at the same time, because this is all important skin, and the trifecta was formulated also for eyes and neck, in case you're wondering. There's no need for an extra eye cream or a neck cream, but you should definitely treat all of this together, because visually it's all in the same field, and it's all skin, and it's all aging. All right, so that concludes it. That's the postmenopausal skin problems, solutions, and what you should do starting now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped. I hope it gave you some clarity. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you join the family. Also, if you want more content like this, we have a free newsletter that goes out every single week. In-depth discussion on all things facial rejuvenation with a focus on skin. That's a Karam MD journal. Make sure you share this with friends and family, and if you haven't already, hit like. And any questions you have, drop them in the comments below. And to learn more about the Karam MD trifecta, check out karammdskin.com. And until next time, my friends, Dr. Amir Karam.